Testing. I think we can get started. All right, good evening. And welcome to our monthly Little Haiti Revitalization Trust meeting. We're about to start. The time is 6:09.
One day I'll get this right. Okay. Any person who acts as a lobbyist pursuant to City of Miami Ordinance Number 11469, codified in Chapter 2, Article 6 of the City Code, must register with the City Clerk prior to engaging in lobbying activities before City staff, boards, committees, and the City Commission. A copy of said ordinance is available at the office of the City Clerk at City Hall. The material for each item on the agenda is available online on the City's website. Any person may be heard by the board through the chair for not more than 2 minutes on any proposition before the board unless modified by the chair. If the proposition is being continued or rescheduled, the opportunity to be heard may be at such later date before the board takes action on such proposition. The chair will advise the public when the public may have the opportunity to address the board during the public comment period or at any other designated time.
Thank you. About to get into roll call.
Leslie Inga Dorlands, absent. Ashley Toussaint,
Present.
Alyssa Zapata,
Here.
Robert Holland,
Here.
Rudy Maymay.
Present.
We have quorum to proceed.
Thank you. We are now going to open up the floor for public comment. Please keep your comments to 2 minutes time limit, and your comments should pertain to items that have been listed on today's agenda. The floor is now open for any public comments. Going once. Going twice. All right, the public comment section of our meeting is now closed.
Our first presentation is the City of Miami Police Department with our quarterly briefing.
Yes.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay, today I'm bringing a lot of people today. I'm gonna present myself, and I'm gonna let each of them present themselves. Okay, my name is Officer Gene. I'm the neighborhood resource officer for Little Haiti. I work with Commander Jackson. Unfortunately, he would not be present today. So basically, to be very quick, my job is bring the community and the police together. Very simple. Okay.
Good afternoon. I'm Officer Carla Gonzalez with the City of Miami. I am the lead advisor for the Police Explore program, which is a mentorship program. It's not a program intended to lead them to become officers the day of tomorrow, but most of us do, like myself. I'm almost 50, but I was an Explorer when I was 14. So that's just a few years ago. So I can talk to you about Police Explorers all day because it's a program that I believe has a lot of benefits for all the youth. And like I said, it's not meant to guide them into police only. It's to give them a structure. It's to give them a opportunity to see their opportunities, right? More like in a life scenario base, which is what we train them on in a safe space, but also to keep them off the streets, to keep them busy. So I know as a parent, I know that's a tool that I use. My son himself, he's been an Explorer for the last 4 years and graduated already. But I can talk about Explorers all day, but I'll pass it down to the real Explorers now. Before I pass the office, just have them speak really quick about the Explore program.
Good afternoon. My name is Rainer McNeil. I'm a police explorer. I've been a police explorer going on almost 2 years. The program has helped me a lot with dignity, integrity, respect, It taught me a lot about morals and character. And one day I look forward to being a cop or a firefighter. And I have my 3 great advisors here that teach me a lot day to day about being a cop and learning about leadership. We go to academy where you earn our blues and our badges. And I'm going to pass it down now to Jose.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jose Alfaro. I've been a part of the Police Explorer program for coming to 2 years soon in, I believe, August or July. So this program, even though it might seem like it's just to get kids to pursue a career in law enforcement, that's not what it's for at all. This program is literally for everything. It's not just for law enforcement. It helps you in every single aspect of life, especially discipline. It keeps us out of trouble, off the streets, and it's just a really good program that really, I would recommend it to everybody. As long as, if you're in the age limits, which is from 15 to 21, I absolutely recommend it to everybody and anybody.
Good afternoon, I'm Officer Marban. I've been on for 4 years. I am the liaison between the police department and the schools all over the North End. I also am a post 162 advisor, so if you have any kids who are interested in joining a police explorer post, I would be the one who will be assisting them. Not only do we teach, discipline, routinish, but we also teach confidence. There's not a lot of high school students that could come up and speak on a mic. So I just want to say from the behalf of these two, I'm very proud of them. And just a little example of what we offer for our program. I also coach basketball for our police athletic league. So if you ever have anyone who's interested in joining any type of sports related, we can assist with that as well. There's also is a summer camp coming up. So I know school's out right now. So if you need any assistance with your kids to join a summer camp, we could help out with that. But thank you for your time. You want to introduce yourself?
We're gonna leave our flyers on the table. Like Officer Marvin said, the flyer is not only for the police explorers. We have basketball, we have summer camp, we have dancing that actually happens right here on the stage. We have cheerleading, we have football, we have track and field. We try to gauge on everything. I think the only thing we're missing is soccer, but everything else, we try very hard to gauge to everyone in the community because not every kid's gonna be the same. So that's our goal. And hopefully this little presentation was useful. Please be more than happy to, our flyers, our information, our personal information as well. I'm in the South. She's the new advisor for the Central section, and he's actually here in this net area. So please, thank you for your time again.
Okay, now we're going over the boring stuff, stats. All right, now we did a 60 days presentation we're gonna compare February to March versus April to May. So between those 60 days, we had 122 incidents versus on April and May, 149. Call for service is up 25%. The reason is summer's coming, okay? It's always like that. There's a lot of people, it's hot, people get excited for some reason. I've been doing it for more than 10 years. Summer, we have more calls. Now, I'm going over each category and explain why it's a little bit, we're going up like that. So, for example, stolen vehicle, the first between February and March, 16 vehicles were stolen, and April and May, 26, which is going up to 62%. I'll explain. Now, we had a little issue with Hyundais, and what happened is, unfortunately, we have some juveniles going around and pretty much stealing a vehicle for joyride, okay? So what we do, like I said, we go over the stats every day. So every issue that we notice, we take action. And also intelligent with patrol and special unit, unfortunately, we had to make a couple arrests, all right? And since we made those arrests, we can, for the past 2 weeks, there's barely one vehicle stolen, all right? So about those stolen vehicle, it was actually 2 issues. One was those teenagers going around and stealing those vehicles. And also, we had another issue with Honda CRVs. That's nothing to do with the teenagers. There's a group of subjects going around and stealing a specific model. All right? So we also identify which group was it. 2 arrests were made. Burglaries. So burglars going down, which is a good thing. But also what we identify by burglaries, it was not going inside of people's house. It's more businesses. And what they're looking after was copper wire, more construction sites. So what we did also, we did the analysis. We went over every construction site and explained to them what to do. And we also made one good arrest. It was a crew. And then when I reviewed those videos, they're very professional. They look like construction workers, and then go overnight and stealing thousands of dollars worth of copper wire. So most of the burglary were pretty much businesses, construction sites. It's not like inside your house, people coming and no. And also packages. So the way the law is, let's say someone go over your fence, stealing one package, that's a burglary. If you have no fence, that's a theft, all right? So there's none about occupied burglaries and none of that. Theft is up, it's more packages, all right? Crime of opportunity, but it's over every state. We have every area that we have that issue. So what we're doing right now for theft is we're using the COPs, which is Citizen on Patrol, and also every neighborhood that any community neighborhood that we know, and we send emails, we go door by door, explain to them that they have to secure the packages, make sure they contact Amazon and wait, and also use a Ring camera. Not even Ring, any camera that can help out, because so many, we did a lot of arrests using those cameras. Retail theft is up. The reason is right now, we went around every retail in Little Haiti, and we sat down with managers saying that we have to know what's going on. If it's only one beer, one candy bar, it is a theft. So what we did also, we worked together with each cashier, and now I need to call 911, but also we have another system. Once the offender come back, they can call the beat officer, which is always in the area, and come by the store. And for the retail theft, we have so many arrests, all right? But unfortunately, it's misdemeanor, and they don't stay that much in jail, but they come back. We also use the trespass sign to keep them out of the stores. But like I said, we asked them to call the police, actually, and report those reports, because I need to know. Now, theft from MV, that's motor vehicle, is going down for 24%, which is very good. Everybody knows that around the United States, that's the #1 theft right now. If people going around and breaking people's vehicle, what we're also doing is we go door by door, inform that you need to remove your laptop, jewelries, firearms. You have no idea how many firearms that we lost that way. So it's going down. That's a good thing. Robbery, we have 10. No panic. We made a couple arrests. We had a group, the north sector, because we divide Little Haiti in different sectors. They were operating in the north sector. We got that group. So we got pretty much 70% arrest on that one, on that those 10, 7, 7, 7. So ag assault is 15. It's just 7%. Like I said, it's summer. People get hectic. It's not like it's not gunshot. It's just sometimes it's just people arguing for any reason, and they did any altercation, and then that's pretty much why it went for 7%. Now, as I say, that graph is pretty much the same thing I just we went over. Once again, the same thing. So this is from May last year to May this year. All right. I just explained that stolen vehicles going up because of the two situations that we had, and we know exactly what it is, and we took action. Burglaries is going down. Larcenies is everything. Theft from motor vehicles, any theft that you can think of. And like I said, each time that we have a situation, we analyze it and we take action. So we synchronize our force with patrol, specialized unit. The community also is speaking out. I've been a police officer for 10 years, and lately I can see that the communication is the best that we never had. Robbery, like I explained, we have 70% arrest, and it's summer for assault, so it's coming. That's the same that that graph explained just what I just went through. And that'll be it. Any questions? Yes, go ahead. Yes, I can.
My question, and I think I asked the last time, where do you put domestic violence issues, when we call it for family issues, where is that reflected here?
Okay, now for today is we more focus on the crime I just present. As far as domestic violence, it's a different ball games. We have different units. We have specific investigation for domestic violence, and I can say that most of the domestic violence offenders is arrested within 24 to 72 hours, because we know exactly where he's going, and we have a task force to pick him up.
Can I ask?
Excuse me, sorry, I'm just going to interrupt one thing for procedural wise, that if we're going to reopen public comment, then the board does need to vote on that.
All right. I can't motion that. If anybody wants to motion.
I'll make the motion to open it back up.
Thank you.
Any second?
I'll second.
Any opposed? All in favor? Any opposed? All right. Public comment is open.
Can I make a request to the board that, can I make a request to the board? My name is Leonie Hermenton. Can I make a request to the board that this information also be included when there's a presentation about what's happening in the community? I think that these are important barometers of the health of a community as well, what's going on within the homes. And so, I would love to ask the board if that could be something that is a request from the police department, that this information be included, as well as youth arrests. Thank you.
As far as domestic violence, no problem. Next time we'll come and we add that category under presentation. About the youth arrest, this is a very delicate situation. Okay, so as a matter of fact, we can even tell you who they are. Okay, unless they committed a big felony, even though. So youth are kind of protected. So, but about this reference to domestic violence, no problem. I can add it to you. But those categories that I presented today is the one that pretty much, yeah, exactly. And a big issue in our community. We're talking about batteries. I'm not saying that domestic is not an issue. That's not what I'm saying. But usually the complaint that we have is pretty much of those categories. Like burglary, people want to be safe in the house. They want to own their own vehicle in front of the property. and robbery, which is used to be a big issue in the past, but not anymore.
May I ask a question?
Yes.
The two recent shootings that we had in Little Haiti, where are we at in Little Haiti? The two recent shootings.
Okay, the last one that we did an arrest as well. It's actually that person in custody.
Just to add a little bit, reference the chart, we normally focus on the crimes that we have some kind of control and prevention on. Domestic violence is one of the cases that is kind of like the unknown, because we don't know what's going on inside somebody's home until they called us. So that's why mainly our numbers are based on what the police can do as an action, as in preventing them. That's why we have the problem-solving teams, the beat officers in every area, how we make contact with all the businesses, because we have a percentage of a way to prevent those type of crimes.
May I ask another question?
Yes.
With the two shootings that occurred, especially when they had events, what are we doing to protect the public?
Okay, the last shooting that we had, okay, like I said, we made an arrest, okay? So, can we prevent that shooting?
Well, not prevent, but what are we doing to protect the community when we have these types of, these wonderful events that we
Of course, more security will be implemented. More questions? Go ahead.
I had a very nice privilege to learn about some of the technology that the police department has been employing and has, recently been upgrading to. And I wanted to know if any of that technology is being used up here, especially like with the spot shutter cameras, and also to try to head off, some of these different things like people running around stealing packages and all of that. Specifically, are the drones that the department is using, are they able to make it up here? And is there a location in the north end that they can be deployed from?
We're using a lot of technology, all right? So we cannot say or reveal everything that we do, all right? It's for your own protection. We're using, for example, LPR, which is a great system. As far as drone, we have L1. We have 4 drones right now.
But they're all being deployed. We have 4 drones right now, currently active, but because it's in the beginning stage of using them, we don't have enough manpower. There's a lot of certification that inquires for us. Like, I can use a drone, but I'm not certified to do it. So they can't just put, anybody. So that's one, they're literally in the pilot program part of it right now. So I know I just went up there myself. They have 4, but they're all being deployed from the central station right now. But they've been very useful in the few, actually they prevented a shooting in Narapata area not too long ago. But again, it's in the pilot program. We also have to be patient as well, because they can't just send anybody just because they know how to play with it. FDA, it's a lot of licensing behind that.
And also, reference your question for the last shooting, the security system that we implemented also is one of the reasons that the guy's in custody, okay? We had plenty of security, but like I said, even we had so many police officers there. Yeah, it's we can't think and what people gonna, but at the end of the day, our security system we implemented, and also the technology that we did use, we got that guy in custody within like 4 days, okay? And also we still have L1. If we need air power, they'll be there in a few minutes.
And just to let you know, the north end has the majority of the shot spotters. Almost all of them the majority of them are here. Yes, sir.
Okay, I have a question.
Go ahead.
You just mentioned shot spotter, so I just wanted you, I guess, to explain to the public what that is exactly, so that they understand what that is, and then I'll go ahead and
All
move
right.
forward to my
Now,
other
the shot
question.
spotter is a system. Whenever there's somebody using a firearms in the air or using a firearm in this area, we'll know. It's so accurate, I don't know exactly where you use the firearms, okay? So every police officer has that program inside the vehicle, and sometime before the dispatcher dispatch any police officer, we already in the scene. All right, and we made so many arrests in the area. Now, years ago, we used to have a shots fired every. I mean, some of you live in the area. We used to have shots every hour. When I was at midnight, like it's normal. Every 2 3 hours we have a shot. Not anymore.
One of the positive about the shot spotter that it gives you a direction of travel. So before we knew there was a shooting at a particular area because somebody called it in or whatnot. Like you said, I've been on almost 22 years already, and before it was, just look around, look to see where you found something. Now at least it gives us a little guidance where it directs you in the direction of the shooting, and if there's anyone shooting back in that direction as well. And with the cameras, to add to that, it will let us know the drone now is going to be used. It's going to be attached to the shot spotter very soon. That's what they're working on, to have them kind of like a two-man unit almost sort of. So not only does it tell you the traveling, it tells you how many shots, if it hit any type of like concrete. The only thing that's bad is or if I could bring out a negative, is that it has to be outdoors. So if you have large trees, if you have a tall building, those are all things that go against it. So if the shooting started inside of a home, there's no way for us to know until after they come outside to an open area.
And also what we're doing is just not going to even we didn't get the offender on spot. We're gonna collect the casing for ballistics, and like I said, so many arrests being made using that system. Okay, we hope to have more technology in Little Haiti, more LPR, more for shot spotter. We have a very good system. That's why we barely have a shot spotter now.
And we have a lot of the LPR readers, which are license plate readers.
Right.
So if any, from our central station, if we know if any stolen vehicle within the area, it would tell us exactly where the vehicle's at.
And even if they try to get smart by covering the tag, we got a way to
If
get.
you ever pass one of the cameras, it will detect it no matter what.
Yeah, it's not just a tag. It's so many things that we can use. So, like I said, I can't tell exactly everything, but it's a secret. It's our secret.
So that we're in a better era
Yeah.
when it comes to policing, because technology is going to be our best friend.
Did you have a question still, Rudy?
Yes. My second question is, what are some preventative measures we can take, let's say, when we have packages delivered at our homes, and let's say, God forbid, somebody decides to take the package. What could we do about that, or could you talk a little bit about that?
Of course. Actually, what we did about it is we use the COPs. We have a lot in Little Haiti. Okay, we went door to door. So explain that to the community to work together, watch out for each other, using any cameras. All right. Also contact Amazon. They can tell you exactly if they're on their way or something like that. So we've made a lot of arrests on those package theft, but for some reason going back out. Okay, so some guys we arrested like 5 6 times, the same crime. All right, so what we did, we put the community in alert. You need to be careful about your packages. If let's say you're going out of town, let the neighbor know to pick it up for you. Also, now, every residence, we try to explain to them, if you're going out of town, just let us know. I'll put a watch order for you. So even myself, when I'm driving by, I have a little time. I go by and sit in front of your house for 5 6 minutes. Okay? And also we have other technology with a decoy vehicle that also is not only decoy, but they're pretty good. And also we have the beat officers that can go by, the PST, which is the problem-solving team. And yeah, we have the service, but before those crime, I didn't know about it until I went to the community and they keep complaining about it. And I said to them, I don't see it in the system. So now that's why you see it now a little bit in the increase of theft because actually people go and call the police. So actually, if you don't call the police, we won't know. All right, that's that's like I said, my job is put the community and the police together. Before, you have no idea how many crime that was unreported. Why? We need to know. And then even when I went to a store, even if he's stealing just one pack of cigarette, we need to know about it. Next time it's gonna be something more of value.
Like my partner said, if you actually call a non-emergency for the city of Miami and request a watch over Miami, not only he will have to go to your home, but everyone in the roll call for that day, for that shift, all 3 shifts, they will actually announce it during roll call. So every officer has to pass by your house, because we have to note it in the computer. And if you know, we all have GPSs on the cars, on the radios. Now this thing even records us for the last, after 20 minutes of us being turning it off. So we have to go, like, no one's gonna lose their job for not doing something as simple as passing by your house. So that deters, a crime of opportunity.
So also for that, we had a meeting with Box 5. I'm not gonna say which community. Now, they had a issue with one guy keeps stealing everybody's package, like every day. So what they did, they sent me a picture of him, all right? And from that picture, we got facial recognition. And one of the officers did arrest the guy before. So we were able to ID the guy. And we know exactly where to pick him up. And guess what? In that box, no more issue. So the community has also been communicating with the police, which that's what we want.
Thank you.
I have one more question. Oh, you have a question from the audience?
Just one last question. Any concerns about the World Cup and the impact on the community?
Okay. Now, reference to World Cup, we will have police officers on standby. They call the RP units, response team. Matter of fact, I'm going to that training tomorrow. Probably gonna be get guys. So, it's a joke. So exactly. So we are training for it. We have a lot of officers on standby.
493 to be exact.
Exactly. All over the city of Miami. So it's not a problem. We have plenty of officers on standby.
I'd like to add one final question. Just requesting, this being a Little Haiti Trust meeting, if we could have some type of like community, I know you have the Explorers here, some community policing programs for the youth, specifically in the Little Haiti zip codes. I know you have PAL. I know PAL is in Alapata, and that's kind of far from here. And there may be other programs that I'm unaware of, but maybe adding on to the presentation, what youth programs, what preventative programs you have with the youth, that can kind of, maybe go in correlation with these numbers. Maybe we can say, we have 100 kids in this program, to try to see if we can see a correlation between youth being engaged during after school or during the summer hours and maybe crime going down. I'm still waiting to see something like that, because I think part of policing is not just being reactive, but also being proactive by creating community programs. So if you guys have it, we'd love to see it. If y'all don't have it, I would love to be a thought partner on that.
Hello, I'm Officer Watley. I didn't introduce myself before. It's a pleasure to see everybody here. So as far as sports programs, absolutely we have PAL, and as Officer Marvin previously mentioned, we don't yet have soccer. I feel like that would be absolutely great. We've got the soccer park, we've got everything up here. We can absolutely put that in the works. The infrastructure is kind of there. Part of what's missing is the community interest. So it's good to know that that's something that we're interested in, that we can absolutely start really getting the scaffolding there together, because the plans are kind of in place. We just need space and time and community interest, and we're super happy to just kind of push that along. All right?
Thank you.
And also, as far as preventive measure, what we're doing also, we work with every SRO, school resource officer, in that's exact. So, and also I know all of them in my area. So any issue with one particular kid, I would know. And sometimes I address it. I mean, we address it by calling the parents. We offer a program. So when I mentioned about those kids being arrested, unfortunately, it's a few of them, and some of them not even live in the area. Okay, so our kids are wonderful. It's just, yeah, yeah. It's just a lot. Some kids come from some from other area and commit crimes in our area. All right, but yeah.
Well, just to give you some of the numbers, I can't give you the exact number, but I can give you an idea. We have 90 plus explorers. We have 321 kids in the football team in all age groups, from I think from the Pee-wees all the way to the 13U. We have 122 cheerleaders. We have the dance, I think it's like a good 90 something. Track is about 92, 93. And what am I missing? And then our summer camp is already full with, we're gonna be at Williams Park with a little bit over 60 kids.
And also for the summer, like I explained, summer is always hectic. We're gonna have more police present on the street, especially at night.
And these two young men right here, they're residents in Little Haiti.
Good afternoon. Coming from my perspective, from things that you guys want from the youth, I think there can be a lot of things implemented from the cops and in general for the youth, but the youth have to have the mindset that they want to be enrolled in the programs, because you can have people there for you, helping you out, but if you generally don't have an interest in going into programs and doing right with your life, you can't truly try to change someone. So that's just coming from my perspective of a youth and a young man. Do you have something to say?
And also, what we trying to implement is more. You have a question? Yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to know if you guys are gonna hang around for the entire meeting. I just wanted to have a discussion with each of y'all to get y'all contact information. My name is Kevonda Roberts. I'm a community activist, community ambassador, system involved youth coordinator, and success coach for Touch of Miami with Love in Overtown. And why I do a lot of the this type of work with the youth, where I'm at the
Oh,
community
perfect.
safety meetings and getting the stats and different things, but also acting as a liaison between the community and law enforcement, where we're getting the information, bringing it to law enforcement, or presenting it to the community, so they're informed, but also creating programs for preventative measures. I'm a resident of La Haiti. Today, I'm not here as a professional, I'm here as a resident.
Okay.
So I want to know.
I will give you my personal phone call. Now, also, I will do starting next school session. Talk to the parents. If a kids have an issue, so I need to know exactly what's going on inside the house. So that's one way also to prevent any bad habit.
All right, thank you so much.
Oh, thank
for
you.
your presentation.
Thank you.
Next, we have on our agenda placemaking grant check presentations.
We actually don't have placemaking, but we do have a scholarship recipient, Nyla Cook. I don't know if she's here. Nala, sorry, my apologies. And then after that, we will have a home rehab presentation as well.
Awesome.
I'm wondering, no, now I'm thinking in myself, I'm like, was your check printed? No, it'll be next week. Yeah, but no, next week.
We don't want to just leave you with this.
I was trying to wonder if it was printed. It wasn't printed yet. I can't remember. Next, we have a home rehab presentation. This is for Josephine Pierre. She was a recipient of Little Haiti Trust Home Rehab Grant, and her home received $50,000 towards improvements.
All right. Do we have Southern Carpenters? Southern Regional?
Yeah, so I'm going to invite James Mayes, who's going to come up and do a presentation. There's also an additional folder with your packet that has additional supplemental information. And he's going to do a presentation for the Southern Regional Council of Carpenters.
Thank you. I want to take a minute to actually thank the president and CEO of Little Haiti Trust, Joanne Millar. Sorry if I say your last name, but and actually also the vice chair of Little Haiti Trust, Ashley Toussaint, for actually giving me this opportunity today to come before y'all just to talk a little bit more about the opportunities that are here for the people and the residents of Little Haiti, along with everybody in Miami-Dade County. And today, I want to talk to you about 3 key things. Do I have?
Oh, the clicker? Police had the clicker. Did they leave with it? Let me call them.
If not, I mean, I
That's
can
not
keep
the-
going.
Gotta add it to the report next month.
Theft, yeah.
But-
I don't know if Jax, can you move? Jax, are you there? Are you able to move forward the presentation for us while we get the clicker?
There you go. I'll hold the number 1 whenever we need to go to the next
Okay,
one.
there you go.
All right, thank you. Yes, today I wanted to talk to you about 3 key things, right? That are the workforce opportunities, the training, and the benefits. So we all aware that Little Haiti Trust, Little Haiti is, our community is at an important crossroad, right? Where new developments, new things are coming to Little Haiti. Although these can bring great opportunities, but it can also bring a little bit of challenges, right? Where things are becoming a little bit affordable for the very people who actually built and sustain this community. That is, I think I went the wrong way. Oh yeah. That is why today I wanted to talk to you about the possible career path for everyone, not just, when people hear about construction, they usually think it's just a man trade. I'm here to tell you, no, it's not. Even I have my own colleagues that I work with that are women who actually run circles around the men on the field, right? And that is why I wanted to come talk to you about the workforce opportunities, where it is not just, it's not a job, right? It is a career path. It is a career path where the United Brotherhood Carpenters are here to actually help those who wish to seek it. And also those who actually have the experience, who actually were not aware of a much bigger path where they could actually expand their horizon, where we actually as big as international, where we cover all over 50 states, and also Canada. those who wish to travel have those work opportunities available for them with no little to no effort, right? Because they are part of this brother and sisterhood. That is that is. But there we go. Yeah, so that is why the United Brotherhood of Carpenters offer the most comprehensive training in the industry, right? In the industry, especially for those who actually are not very versed in the field, those who are brand new. We understand that. We understand that this industry is so big, it is billions of dollar industry a year. A year. That is why it comes, if you actually want to take part of it, it comes with a lot of training, devotion. That is why we offer, when people think of construction, they usually just think about, how dirty the people are, but it goes even deeper than that because it divides into multiple crafts, where from concrete, pile driving, where the pile drivers come and do the foundation. Right. Interior system come later. They actually built all the walls that we see, all the nice design you see with the walls. That is one of the great crafts that are available here, especially all the high rise you're seeing, because there's no more space where it can expand. It's just going up. Right now, it just start going up. Now that is more rooms, more walls, and more opportunities, much longer lasting work opportunity for the people, and that is one of the. When we understand that, the field is getting bigger. The work is getting much bigger now. Solar plants are coming in, more electricity. Those are more opportunities. Scaffold builders are coming in to lay the to actually have built a platform for people to come and work on. Right? Those are long-term jobs, and we understand that it comes with all these opportunities. That is why we offer the most the most comprehensive training with the best facilities and also the best instructors, because they were actually on the field and they were doing the work. So they actually understand what it takes to actually succeed in this trade. And that is why they are here to actually train you and teach you the way around the field and in the industry. And we do understand that we have a 4-year apprenticeship program. It's a free apprenticeship program where we actually, a free 4-year apprenticeship program where we actually will give you the hands-on experience, how to learn to become a carpenter, a millwright. Millwright does things a little bit different, where they work on conveyor belts, heavy machinery. When you are actually in the airports, all you see the conveyor belt that's bringing your luggage and everything. Those are millwrights, and there's women that's actually doing it very, very well, and that is why these things is a little bit different than carpentry, but we still teach it. Pile drivers, we still teach it, and that is one of the great things I actually tell those who are actually newer to the trade is you have the opportunity to earn while you learn within these 4 years. Where it's a living wage, right? It is a great living wage where actually somebody who come in or trying to become into a system, learn how to build walls, they can come in just at $18 an hour, or even more if they're working for more of a general contractor. And I myself, I came from the apprenticeship also, coming from the school, high school, not knowing what I want to do, and it was actually introduced to me by a teacher. And now here I am today coming before y'all just to talk a little bit more, now that I'm in this position now, where I work with the contractors and I work with the individual workers to actually place them to work. While talking with the contractors, they are very intrigued and actually trying to get these people to work, put them to work, having a sustainable living, us offering training, and it's a free apprenticeship training. And the most important thing is benefits. Because the young generation doesn't really understand that today we are not working. We're not working for today. We are working for tomorrow when we are not able to work. When the body isn't really reacting the way it's supposed to. when you have the grandkids running around, you still want to actually, still want to be able, still provide. Go to the trip you always wanted to go. That is why we offer the most benefit package in the world, where we give you a health care, we give you a pension, a health care that is strong for you and your family to go to the hospital and get treated. A pension you can depend on later on in your retirement years, where you can have a steady income coming to you like you were on the field, because you already gave in that sweat equity, right? Well, now later on, now you're reaping the reward. That is why, and the most important things I want to tell them, neither of these benefits come out of your pocket. Because we, as the United Brotherhood of Carpenters, we negotiate that with the contractor. Make sure that they actually provide those benefits to you. They pay into it so that you don't really have to. Because we understand that the cost of living is coming. It's getting harder to raise our kids. It's getting harder to actually provide. And it gets very hard. And that is why, and I understand it myself too, even though I look young, but I understand it. So that is why today I wanted to come talk. I wanted to come before y'all just to actually talk about this opportunity. And my name is James Muse. I'm a council representative for the Southern Regional Council of Carpenters, which is, it's just a big umbrella. United Brotherhood is just a big umbrella, and I fall under the Southern Regional side of it. It's still the same thing. And one thing I want to tell these people is, like, once you actually join this apprenticeship, within your third year, we fly you out to Las Vegas, where you actually take a training and actually hear it from the higher ups on how actually this runs, how actually this works, what's in it for you, right? And that is one thing I always tell these people once they join, everyone they join, look forward to that, to actually get flown out, eat, go to Vegas, right? But thank you so much for actually giving this opportunity. All right, thank you.
Would we have the motion again?
Well, we're opening it to the public. I mean, do you want to see if the board has any questions?
Yeah, I'll open it up to the board for any questions first, and then if the public has any questions. Anybody from the board have any questions about the presentation?
I just want to make a comment. Thank you for coming. It's an amazing program.
Thank you.
Anyone from the audience?
I'm actually sending you some information right now, some developments.
Thank you. All right.
Do we have to do a motion to open up for public comment again?
If you want to open it.
Okay.
So move.
Any second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, public comment is open.
I have a question.
Yes.
With the apprenticeship, is it a paid apprenticeship as they're going through the training?
Yes, they will learn and they will also earn. So they will actually, I will be the one who actually dispatch them to work, communicate with the contractors, and anytime with the United Brotherhood, anytime you get let go, I'm the one who's responsible for trying to get you back to work. That's why I try to create this relationship with the contractors, with anything that happens, that we can actually, even though they're not looking for people right now, create that relationship where it's like, hey, I can take somebody else. Why not? So that's why I'm here, and we'll try to put them to work as quickly as possible. It's all depend based on the apprenticeship, the level you are. All I can tell you, I don't know the exact number for apprenticeship. All I can tell you is with the journeyman who actually out there working, it's like $30 a month. That's it, right? But also the wages also, just in the pocket for subcontractors, it's like $28 and $27, and for general contractors, it's like $29, $30, right? So an hour. So it's. Yeah. Whenever. Once they give the 8 hours for today, they are free to do whatever else they want on the side. So that's why I like to tell them it's good to create those type of connections. Learn because once you learn the skills, that is something nobody can take away from you. You can go out there and do what you want. We have people who came in there who end up being politicians. So they were not just construction workers. They become politicians. They have their own contracting business. And we actually offer, for those who actually went through the program, who have actually want to create their own construction business, and here in Las Vegas, they actually offer them a special program for those who actually wish to create a company for themselves. Teach them how to do it. But the only thing is, once you get there, you understand it. it's good to actually become a union contractor yourself and actually help those the same way the other contractors actually help you. So yes,
Another question?
yes, yes, I'm doing it.
What's the requirement in terms of English proficiency? Do you have to be, what's your level of English to participate in this program?
To be honest, there's no requirement because what actually speaks louder is your skills. Though at the end of the day, the job needs to be completed. Can you actually complete the job? That's the requirement. And that is one thing for myself. I actually realized I don't really see much Haitian in this industry. It kind of hurts a little bit, right? Because while I was actually in the field, you don't really see much. And now that I'm in this position now, that's why I want to actually come out to these communities and actually provide this actually opportunity to them, where they can actually take this advantage. Because we all leave our country in hopes of a better life. But turns out it's not as great as we thought, but here's a great opportunity. Let's actually build upon it and build a foundation where you can actually have a success in. Yes.
Good evening. Let's say if you have a residential property and you have a job to be, completed, can we reach out to your organization and say, hey, would love some, people that would like to get some experience, but that actually know what they're doing to, do some work, roofing job, plumbing job. I mean, or do you have like a general contractor that is connected to you all that will, that we can kind of reach out and use that contractor to hire the team?
Yes.
Did you see where I'm going with this?
Yes, we do have our own general contractors that actually would have the connection just in the electrical, plumbing, even though, we teach carpentry and power drive, but they do have the connection. And it's pretty much, if that's something you wish to actually obtain, I can actually give you the contact information to actually reach out to the general contractors that we have, and they can give you the best quote. All right? And if you want it by one of the workers also, who actually have friends, because working with the general contractor, you come across everybody in the field, because they're the one who actually been there, and they will be the last one to leave. And they will run into the electricians, the plumbers. They become friends. They might have a friend to do it, but if you want it very, very well done, I can always get your contact and send you some information for one of our contractors.
Okay, thank you. Of course.
That it's not my company, so I can't actually say yes to that. But
Decorum, people, decorum. All right, if
That's it,
there are
right?
no other questions, thank you, Mr. Mears, for your presentation. Excellent job.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, I think we have another presentation from Miami Marketing.
Yeah, we have Miami Marketing Strategies that is going to do a presentation on the Apex Culinary Arts Festival, in which the trust had happened in April, in which we had supported that activity. So the presentation is going to come on the screen shortly, and then I have the clicker for you.
Good evening. We'd like to start by saying thank you for the staff who believed in us, for the board who allocated the money, most of the money that we had asked for, and for ourselves to be able to produce one of the best events ever happened in Little Haiti. I know for a fact I've been here for 50 years in Little Haiti. And like we say, we had to put our money where our mouth was then. So we came up with some money in order to make it happen, personal money. So I will introduce, of course, Dr. Anna Etienne, who was part of the team, and also Vania Laguerre, who could give you more detail of what took place. I'm sure you heard that. It was a great event. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kayod.
Good evening, Board. Again, our pleasure to be with you this evening to give you a little bit of an overview as well as to our attendees about the 2026 Arts and Eats Festival. As this concept was presented, it was presented as part of a two-day event. Day one on April 11th, encompassing the Arts and Eats, which your board helped to fund in majority, and the second event, which was on April the 12th with the A Taste of Miami Carnival, which took place. So we're going to spend some time and talk about the Arts and Eats Apex, which took place on the 11th of April. Come on. Jacques, can you help us? Oops. Okay, there we go. Thank you so much. And here is Dr. Etienne of the Ladder Project, who really was key in terms of the execution. So the Arts and Eats experience was held, as I mentioned, on April 11th. It represented a successful realization of the vision that this board presented to us. Originally, it was conceived as an immersive sensory feast to celebrate the intersection of culinary innovation, history, and art in a festival which moved beyond just the traditional food fair. We are proud to say that the execution met and exceeded every goal outlined in our original proposal, and it really transformed the Little Haiti Cultural Complex into a premier destination for both gastronomic and artistic excellence. I will tell you that the event really encompassed four main pieces. One area had to do with the culinary mastery and competition. So where we brought in chefs, both local and from abroad, that held the competition amongst themselves and presented their various fairs. And the participation from the public was absolutely off the top. We also had embedded a competition where local emerging chefs participated and competed, and the winner was awarded a $1,000 prize and also got to work with our main chef on the 12th in the VIP section. So it not only recognized that emerging chef locally for the competition, but it also gave them an opportunity of more broadly positioning themselves. The other aspect of the whole day's experience was the visual arts and professional development, where we brought in a panel of 12 different artists that presented their artwork at the in the cultural center. And there was also a presentation jointly done by Dr. Wheeler Logan as well as Babakar Mbao on around the business of art. And the feedback that we actually got from the very seasoned artists that presented was that understanding what the business of art represented and how they can best monetize their creativity was extremely beneficial to them. We also had a series of cultural performances, and this is where we were able to tap into the local talent that Little Haiti brings in. So some of the groups that are local to the cultural center, such as Tradition La Koulakai, the Nancy Saint-Léger, a dance group, as well as the Peter London Global Dance Company. These are companies that are housed right here and practice here. They also got to perform. And lastly, we had an interactive market. All of the vendors really did very well, and you will see some of the feedback that they provided. And we also had a youth engagement where children got to participate in the creation of a panel which was presented to the Little Haiti Revitalization Trust as the legacy piece for investing locally, investing in the youth, and our hope is that that piece will be showcased in the cultural center. I don't think this clicker likes me.
It's not working.
Oh, okay, yeah, thank you. So let me talk to you a little bit about the numbers part of this. So as Mr. Kayard indicated, The amount that was directed by the Little Haiti Revitalization Trust was a $75,000 contribution. The event's actual cost, and we have provided all of the supporting documentation, canceled checks, and all of the breakdown, totaled an amount of $91,851. That differential was covered by Miami Marketing Strategy. When we take into context the investment that the Little Haiti Revitalization Trust did, the contribution of $75,000, and we look at it and comparatively to the cost of the carnival, right, which is on the second day, because there was some guidance that it needed to be a portion of the total amount. It comes to be the $75,000 was a 12 to 14% investment of the total cost of the event. So we were able, obviously, to deliver with very strained resources, obviously, but within the context of what this board mandated in terms of the expenses. A lot of takeaways and feedback that we learned from this experience. This mindset of intentional integrated programming is really critical. The fact that we were able to position both a culinary, an artistic, and a community engagement is really what allowed us to deliver a festival that was above par. The anchoring of the community was extremely critical, and I want to give special thanks to Joanne Milord that really connected us with our local vendors, because it was a specific requirement of this board to make sure that we engage local vendors. We did so. But I will tell you that there is work to be done with our local vendors. One of the hitches that we ran into is that while many of them signed up to participate, the day before, they basically pulled out. So we were left really scrambling. If it hadn't been in terms of forethought of having additional connectivity, we could have been in a bind. So I think that as we go forward, that's something that we have to think about in terms of better connecting the local partners that we want to involve so that they're committed in the delivery and the execution. In terms of economic impact, I am going to ask Dr. Etienne to speak about that, because that is her wheelhouse, and she can much more effectively talk about what the economic impact was of this event.
Hi, everyone. The lights are so bright, so I cannot see your gorgeous faces. And so just quickly, my name is Dr. Anna Etienne, and for the most part, I have a background in the hospitality and food space. I ran a food incubator for a really long time. Now I work with a lot of food entrepreneurs, and I can say that hospitality is a huge topic here in South Florida, and I will not debate Mr. Kayard in regards to us having the best events here in Little Haiti. And so we were able to support our local college students secure jobs. They got paid. So all the students you saw working for both days were paid. The vendors that did participate walked away making 20 to 30K for the weekend. And this is small in comparison to the Art Basels, to the Sobe Wine and Food Festival, and we believe that there's an opportunity for us to take advantage of those margins, right? We are Caribbean, we are international, and there is a market for these types of events, and I believe we have an opportunity for the local businesses to benefit from the 31% of international travel that comes to South Florida for these types of events.
Thank you so much. And lastly, in terms of collaborative solicitation, so the local vendors were critical, they participated, they benefited from it, but a couple of aspects as we look forward, right? Because our whole concept around this is doing it once and done is not probably the ideal opportunity. The opportunity is realizing what do we learn from the experience that we've had, and how do we take it forward and grow it even more so. And I will tell you that in the scope of that delivery, we have had partners that have already stepped in and have committed and are willing to support, such as, for example, the Greater Miami Convention and Visitors Bureau. They were present and they are committed to go forward and to be present. Miami-Dade College was also present and participated. Florida International University, same thing here. And there are also a handful of corporate partners that have expressed an interest in taking this further. So from where we stand, as a first-time execution, this was great and wonderful, but the opportunity is to learn from what was delivered and then how do we take it forward. The last page that I just want to share with you quickly, if I can get this clicker to participate. Okay, so here are some feedback of vendors that participated during the event. And these were vendors that were here both on the Arts and Eats of the 11th, but also at the Carnival. And by far, it has been very positive, and the outcome has been wonderful along those lines. And with that, that wraps it up from our standpoint. If there are any questions.
Yeah. Question, go ahead.
Did anybody else? Okay, I have a few. Good evening, how are you?
Good evening.
I had a question to the story the explanation that you were giving of some of our local vendors here in Little Haiti. Did they give a reason, or was there a specific circumstance, or what was driving the occurrences of them pulling out, how you were mentioning 1 or 2 days before Carnival?
I can't say that they gave us an explanation, but I do think there was an underestimation, right? So they probably didn't believe that this event was going to be as transformative as it was. And so in Miami, we have a lot of events. And so I can foresee them assuming, hey, I never heard of you guys. I really don't know if I'm gonna make any money. And they pulled out. They didn't necessarily understand the potential impact, which is why in the feedback, you'll see some of the smaller entrepreneurs that were startups really benefited from the 2-day event.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. I'd also like to know, this is kind of the first attempt, the first year as we're discussing and everything. And, there is a opportunity, I guess, a maybe chance that there could be more year-round branding, more area branding to tie in with this and keep this going, and maybe that way it would be more recognizable, and that would be an amazing opportunity, a lead up all year to this event. And I wanted to know if there was a plan for that, and had contemplated that, and how do we keep this going? How do we keep the momentum going?
Absolutely. So this was part of the investment made by Miami Marketing Strategy in terms of this event was videotaped in its entirety. So we have the entire footage of the event. And there was also a photographer. I think we have over 500 photos that are absolutely incredible. Our plan is, if there is obviously a possibility of re-upping for this, is that we would create a media and a marketing strategy where this would continue to be, that story would continue to be told throughout times. Because one of the things that we also did do is we brought in some social media and influencers, and we had iHeart as well. So we have all of those contents that we can play on and those connectivities to build that on. And to your point, I do believe that that is a differentiator in terms of how we position and how it is viewed in the public sphere, so that we can get more visibility and bring in more interest for an execution.
Thank you. I'm sure you've heard me, and I'm sure that you guys are aware, we're working on a master plan, and we're working on guidelines and, different things for Little Haiti. And I'm personally aware that there is a huge cultural and historic preservation travel market. People don't want to just travel to a tourist-ridden destination. they want enrichment, they want to travel somewhere, learn something, see something, and I think that maybe there are great opportunities to tie in with, the projects that we are working on, and maybe this, year-round branding strategy, and I would definitely like to keep the conversation going.
Wonderful, absolutely.
Yes. I just wanted to add that all the vendors that got to participate participated for free. So there were no vendor fees, thanks to your support. And we're hoping to continue to create this type of engagement that positions our local small businesses.
Thank you so much.
Thank you again, and we hope that we'll see you pretty soon. By the way, we're going to pass the hat, but Mr. Holland, that we know for so many years, said, no, not tonight, don't pass the hat, so we'll come back. Thank you.
I had a couple of questions before you step down. I know when you all presented, you had 3 major sponsors, the Trust with 75, I think District 2, Dade County, 150K, and the City of Miami with, I'm just going based off of what was presented to me.
Okay.
And so I'm just curious to know if there are more sponsors that would come to the pot because, many hands make the load lighter. And so 75,000 is it's a lot for us because we're doing other programming. So we did it this year, and for me sitting on the board and being able to distribute the funds, we want to be, we want to be fair, we want to be judicious with our funds. So we want to know, like, if they're gonna in the future, will there be more people donate into this event, or is it still leaning on kind of the same seed people that helped you guys this year?
I believe that, first of all, the 150 from Miami-Dade County, the commission had asked us to maybe give them a break because there were some other activities, so we willingly say, okay, let's use some other, we'll come back next year, which we did. So we didn't get the 150. And thanks God, we have Bank of America who came in and helped out, and we have FIU and Miami-Dade College, and we had a group of organizations. And you already have commitment from Presidente coming in, and we have also Madame Gugus coming in next year. We have Goya already say they're going to be coming in, because that was the first time that they did an event, food, Caribbean food, not just one entity, just Haitian or Jamaican. It was a group of all over the place. We had one of the chefs, a Michelin star chef, coming directly from Paris. He flew the day before. He spent 3 days here, and then he left. We had Chef Paul, who has 5 restaurants in Montreal, Canada, who came in for the event, and that was like unheard of, because usually to move Chef Paul, it's not like an easy thing. And we had basically many people who now, because we put the first stone, they want to participate and they want the community. Hey guys, Caribbean food is basically the best food in the world, so people want to come and enjoy it. But we really thank you for the opportunity, and we're going to submit an application for grant again for soon. And we hope to create more and more opportunity for the vendors. Thank you so much.
So let me say a few things as well. First of all, I want to.
If I could just say one more thing, because I think it is important. In terms of our local support, I don't believe he's here, but Chef Creole was someone who stepped in. And when I say that he delivered and he contributed beyond what initially he committed to and what he initially said, so I think that you as the board, you should know that, and he should be given due accolades for his support, his contribution, and his engagement for the event. That was very important. I wanted to make sure that was done.
Now I know where my oxtail money goes once a week. Again, I want to congratulate you guys on a great event, too, for your inaugural event. One of the visions I think we've all had with the trust, based on the mandates that we've been given, is to try to create a place where you can live, work, and play. So obviously you need that entertainment that's culturally specific to kind of bring people back into the community and make them respect the area and kind of grow the area, and those who are here not want to leave the area. And so I think this is a contributing factor to that. As my fellow board member mentioned, I have to be honest with you guys. We're not the city of Miami. We don't have that kind of money. We just have money that comes from another project that kind of do a number of things in the community. And while I recognize you mentioned we were only 12% of your overall budget, we were 82% of the budget we agreed to be a part of, which was the one-day event. And I don't have a problem with us looking forward how we can help next year. But I think probably some of the greatest leverage we can bring as a board is being able to participate with you in the marketing, saying that we consider it a sanctioned event for the area, which will probably encourage more governmental giving as well as corporate giving to it, without us not necessarily leveraging everything we have. Because, you know, when you look at the businesses and the scholarships and all those things, we're trying to teach people how to fish so they can continue to grow their lives. And I don't want to get caught up in a situation where, and I've seen it happen in other areas, not with us, where, you know, you're paying, because it keeps growing, it's a great party. And after people finish the party, you know, what are you doing for people's lives? And I want to make sure that we constantly focus on the lives of people in this community while still finding a way to invigorate and bring things in. So I think we'll be there to help next year. I don't want to give you false senses that we have this money to float a whole lot of it. But I think if we are engaged with you and saying that we consider it a sanctioned event for the community, that people recognize it as something that the community wants. And I think that adds leverage in that process with District 2, District 5, some of the area businesses, some of the developers that are trying to come into the area. I think it adds leverage for that as a greater give back to you versus us carrying that load. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Holland. I think he said everything I could have said and beyond. For the sake of time, we want to go ahead and move on. Thank you guys for your presentation, and congratulations on the great inaugural event. And I think planning department, they still here? You still here?
He's still here, poor thing. Paul Genovese, from the city's planning department, who is coming back for the second presentation. You do have 2 documents inside of your board package that he will be referencing, but he's going to be providing us with an update since the last board meeting. So I appreciate your patience as we went through so many presentations.
No, of course, it's been an exciting meeting. Hearing about this was incredible. I wish I attended. Definitely will next year.
It's brand new. This was the first thing.
No, and I love the ideas that, were brought up early in the conversation about, how this kind of branding may play into what we're doing with, the Design Guidelines project. So definitely something we'll consider. Like Joanne said, I'm Paul Genovese, Chief of Urban Design in the Planning Department with the city. Last month, I spoke about our Design Guidelines project and kind of where we were at with that. We heard some really good feedback from the board and from the public. So we're actually getting very close. About 2 weeks from now, we'll be kicking off what we're calling a workshop to get a lot of feedback and participation from you all, from the neighborhood, from the residents, from the business owners, as well as, start beginning our actual layout of this document and what it may look like. So on the screen right now, you can see kind of what our schedule is looking like for the workshop. Basically, it consists of my department at the city, as well as some of the other divisions in planning, zoning, et cetera, coming out and pretty much setting up an office here at the Cultural Center for those 3 days, really being in the neighborhood, working here for the entirety of those 3 days. And a big component of that is not only being in the neighborhood and getting to know it better, but it's to be at your doorstep to hear from you and get your feedback and your ideas. So you can see on the schedule, what we have planned right now is for 4 different open outreach sessions that we're going to have for the public. They'll be on Tuesday, June 23rd and Wednesday, June 24th from noon to 1 p.m., as well as another one each day in the evening from 5:30 until 7:30 p.m. These are envisioned to just kind of be generic public open houses, basically, where we encourage you to come out to meet with us, give your ideas, your feedback on what you would like to see out of this Design Guidelines document and the vision for the neighborhood moving forward. Basically smaller kind of roundtable type meetings. Come in at whatever time works, for you with your busy schedules in between those hours we have listed. And we'll have members of our team there to meet one-on-one or in smaller groups. We want to encourage people to be approachable, honest about their ideas. You don't have to come up in front of a big room with the lights glaring at you and, speak for everyone to hear. We want it to be intimate so that we can hear you better and you can feel more comfortable in that setting. And, kind of the other slots in there, these closed studio work sessions are what I was describing, where we're basically going to be working out of here the entire week. Those are kind of our chances to start actually producing the document and getting all of your ideas, onto paper. And I don't know if there's the other slide? Yes. Great. Yeah, so we'll be circulating these very shortly. Kind of this is our flyer. Once again, gives a little description of what this project's going to be, has those dates and times for when the open outreach sessions are occurring. And I hope to see as many of you as possible on the 23rd and 24th, and we really look forward to hearing from you all and your ideas about the neighborhood. And one final update going back to the last meeting, I know the board made a great suggestion about bringing in a local architect who's, from the neighborhood, has, cultural roots in this type of design. That is something that we're going to be doing thanks to the board's support. I know also you've put together a pretty good list of not just, the one that we may bring in and retain for the project, but also a list of other local architects who we'll be reaching out to, come in, hear all of their ideas and feedback.
So we did do some marketing, looking specifically for Caribbean and Haitian, both architects and planners. So it actually was pretty successful. We got about 25 people who were interested. Once they sent us information, I then supplied them with that schedule, which was the last page, to ensure whether or not they would be available on those days to participate. And we also did share with them a document, which I don't have up, but it's the scope of work in which what we would be asking them to entail, because it's not just attending these 2 days, but also being available afterwards as the planning department comes up with them. And so I want to say we probably have about 7 or 8 complete submissions of letters of interest and CVs after they received the dates in which we provided. So I'll be going over that with Paul this week, and so a final selection should be made with the architects that are going to participate on the days of the workshops. The way that we kind of left it is depending on what they're asking as far as compensation, and then we'll be ranking them, and the trust will be engaging in that financial commitment so that they can participate on these days.
I had a question too. Will there be a similar opportunity like this, or maybe is there a way that artists can also collaborate, like Caribbean-inspired artists? Because I know, like, being an architect is very well. I don't want to speak binarily. I don't want to act like architects don't have creativity.
Bring it on, yeah.
But
you're right,
the training. When you talk about the training, you know what I'm saying, and aesthetic. Yeah. Architects have one hard skill, and then artists have another skill. And I think the thing around Haitian design is it's like unique creativeness with the culture and stuff. So is there maybe an opportunity for artists and architects to work together? Maybe not on this one, but maybe in future opportunities. Just a wondering.
So I think for this one, because it's so technical in the wording, that we're trying to get an ordinance that's going to be approved at the level of the city, at the code, that I wanted to focus primarily on architects or urban planners that have that expertise. I think when we re-engage after we do this design guideline and we re-engage in the activities surrounding the strategic plan, that's more of an opportunity where, we can engage people who are designers. We did have some designers who wanted to participate at this level, but they lack that technical knowledge that's needed for the exact wording that we can't implement into the code.
But even with all that said, I would highly encourage any artists or artists you may know in the neighborhood to come out to those open sessions, so that we can sit down one-on-one with them and get their ideas. Joanne's right, we're looking for something that's, more of a legal document per se, that's enforceable, that's actually going to be usable from the city's point of view and for a developer in the future. But a lot of that is based in the culture, which is a million different things. which I think, the last presentation about the festival nailed, this combination of food and art and dance and activation, in a way, the design guidelines are going to be based in that culture and that heritage. Yes.
Oh, do we got a motion? If we go open, all right, here we go.
Second.
All in favor? Nobody opposes? All right.
Well, to that end, as architects, we're also artists, right? So I get it, right? To that end, even though it is a legal document, we have presented our submission to participate, so thank you that very much for the opportunity here, and LHRT and Haiti Revitalization here. You can write into the ordinances that, X amount of square footage or X amount of money can be put into the arts in the building or in the art, in the landscaping.
Yeah.
So there is not, it's not mutually exclusive, because architects do have that one.
So you want to double dip? You want to double dip? Is that what you're saying? Oh, I'm just asking. I'm just teasing. Just teasing.
It's acknowledging that I come from an artistic background. My mom's an artist, right? I'm saying it's acknowledging that art is very much representational, and it is very necessary in the framework of what it is that we're designing. So, I just wanted to add that about 30-something years ago, when the design industry was just Craig Robbins' little dream, they had a huge charrette, multiple days, multiple events, and they actually put the artists together with the architects. And you have some landmark art pieces now. If you look at the high school,
Dash.
there's a big pencil, a statue that's like a huge pencil with kids on top of it. That was actually designed during one of those charrettes. So, I don't know if you were there, but it's absolutely a great idea to put, and it's true, architects are artists. Yes. You look at that building, it's an architect. So I think that definitely is it.
Thank you.
And to add to that point, we have worked with artists in the sense that there was a project we did where we left a full wall and came in. The Art and Public Places came in, and that wall was included within the design and integrated into the design of the architect. So we would love to pose that or keep that within the ordinance, and you can state that so that we keep that portion and it is included. So I think that would be a great thing for the community and would also generate a lot of pride in the community, because what if the artist came from the community? What if it was a Haitian architect or a Caribbean architect or what have you? That would be something, especially in the master planning of Little Haiti, it'll definitely help to instill a pride in whatever we come up with in the guidelines.
Yeah, agreed, and thank you for bringing up art in public places. They will be part of this effort that we'll be bringing, to the cultural center for those few days so that, they can help assist with some of those artistic ideas that we may fold into things. We'll also have representatives from Public Works there, when it comes to Northeast 2nd Avenue and kind of imagining what can we do to make that, a more walkable, pedestrian-friendly street, we want their expertise, their feedback. So we'll have a lot of the different city divisions that can, all help shape how the neighborhood may look through this document.
That's perfect. I do have one question for you, ma'am. Do you know if that notice will go out this week to know which firms were selected to be, to participate, or the timeline for that?
Yes, so I'm gonna get on Paul's schedule this week. I was preparing for the board meeting. The deadline actually was on Friday. That's the deadline that we advertised. I did have one or two people that submitted on Monday, but I do have the file compiled. So my goal is between tomorrow and Thursday for us to connect, and then we'll be able to send the notifications out by Friday for the participation. I believe the dates are the 23rd and the 24th.
Yep.
Go ahead.
I have a few questions. Not questions, but statements, actually. One, as it relates, my mic on?
Yeah, it sounds like it's on. Yeah, click it.
You say sound like it's on?
Yeah, it sounds like it's off.
I checked. There we go. as it relates to this notice that is going out, I'm hoping that the notice will also be in Creole going out.
We can make sure that's done.
Yes.
Okay. Because I don't want people to get it and some don't know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see, and it might be late to do this, I hope it's not. I just think the language needs to be a little more inviting to letting people really know what they're coming in to give their opinions on.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at it, this is very sterile, very professional, but I think if it's a way of kind of bringing it down a notch where people understand exactly what it is that you're inviting them in to do, I think that helps, and it probably brings about more engagement. And lastly, if there was some way that we could facilitate getting notices out to key stakeholders in the area to let them know that this is happening, and we would love for them to come in, whether they're former elected, business owners, community activists, whoever it is that's very active in the community or in the Haitian culture, to try to see if we can invite them in to come in to participate in this process. And I'm hoping, because we can't get into the selection, but whoever's not selected will still come to this and participate in it, because it is a cultural exchange that we need to have to make sure that once you do this, it's done. And you can't come back, well, you know, I would have had a difference of opinion. Let's put it all on the table now and try to see if we can make it work for the community.
And the vision, real quick, the vision would be, you know, obviously to have this workshop in 2 weeks, and then, you know, the next board meeting in July to kind of come back with a presentation, giving, you know, all the feedback and ideas that we heard during those workshops, and, you know, providing one final opportunity, you know, for the public to give feedback on what we've heard and what we've seen.
So I just wanted to clarify something that you said, Robert. We'll definitely, we have a lot of footage from those strategic planning meetings, those community meetings that we did before, so we can create something that will be more engaging for people and send it out amongst our means, so that they have that information as well. And then also, I just want to state that if we think about, you know, all the work that we did with FIU and the strategic plan, and also the guidelines, we had taken a step back to kind of focus on the design guidelines with planning, and we do need to come back and re-engage in those discussions so that we can finally approve our 10-year strategic plan. And that's probably also going to cause us to have additional community meetings where we probably would have the opportunity to maybe flesh out in greater detail the vision that we have as far as what we'd like to see that may not be acceptable to the level that it can go into code. So it's a dual process where what's going to go in written in the ordinance will but we could expand upon it, right? Just like we have grant programs in which we incentivize certain aspects with additional details. So I would just like for everybody to keep that in mind.
Yeah, I think since you already have a database of people that's been involved,
Yes, and we'll
obviously it's not just sending them an email, but somebody picking up the phone and calling them and encouraging them to get involved in what's going on. And then there's also community leaders and all out of this area. All the businesses along this corridor should actually have something sent to them and maybe a call or something to them as well in this year. To me, you get the robust engagement up front, and it's much easier to deal with stuff on the back end. But if you don't get that robust engagement on the front end, and you come out with an ordinance and everything else, then people come in and they're complaining, oh, nobody ever told me. I've been around this rodeo. So let's deal with it right on the front end, and let's make it happen.
We have I wanted to acknowledge the board members and who have questions first, and then we'll go back.
Thank you, Chair. I have a follow-up to what my fellow board member was saying. I'm aware of a new postcard system that Planning and Zoning is using, and since the flyer is already done and it just needs to be translated into Creole, would it be possible to send this flyer out like soon, very soon, to get it, you know, in the next 2 weeks to the folio numbers that are in the Little Haiti Trust boundaries?
Yeah, definitely something.
Because I mean, if we get it out, because it's done, it just needs to be translated. That can be done quickly.
And simplified a bit. Heard that loud and clear.
Maybe an extra picture, you know, maybe something, you know, please join us, the future of your community, you know, a few extra words like he's mentioning. But this was a really unique tool that way people weren't missed, and they cannot turn around and say, you know, they weren't invited, they didn't know. It's sent to their business or to their home in their mailbox. And while the trust does a really good job, I mean, they're a small army, a few people that, have made up an army, and we've built over the last 5 years a wonderful mailing list. It's people coming to us and providing their information. So sometimes it's a little bit of an uphill battle to get the degree of community participation we want. And if you can take this back and tomorrow morning maybe see if that's feasible. And, I know that the cost is not so great, but, if we can figure that out, it's not like when it was certified mailing and it was, $26 an envelope.
Oh, yeah.
But if this postcard system can be used, with a flyer, I experienced that, and it was really, really helpful. We got people that have never participated before because they received this in the mail, and they came with their postcard, and they wanted to know what was going on and, how that they could, offer their opinions and their suggestions.
No, that's great, and definitely something we'll do. I think it's, out of all the different options and databases we have to utilize each one, I'd rather have someone get 2 of these in the mail than get 0.
Yeah,
So,
and if it can be maybe facilitated this week, it's a week for mailing, and then the
Yeah.
week of, they can show up.
We got one question here.
I just wanted to commend whoever was doing the marketing and promotion on the flyers, because I personally got no less than 3 or 4 emails. One of them from the Dean of Architecture in Tallahassee, right? Saying, hey, you guys have got to make sure that you do this. I thought that was really great, because I'm personally not a social media person, so the fact that it went far and wide was very, very great. So I do commend you guys on that. It reached a lot of ears for that. So thank you, whoever did that.
All right. Looks like we're losing momentum. Oh, man. Right here.
The fact that this thing can come alive. But one thing I want to you to understand is that the community. You'd be surprised how many experts we have on the street in this community. Okay, so like they don't have to have those major title as architect, but they know stuff. They know how the way that they want it to be. So I remember like maybe 7 years ago, we had a little Haiti envisioning in this community, and then everybody, you'd be surprised, those elderlies, they will tell you, this is what we want, this is what we want. And that's how I got assigned to do the Little Haiti Times. So finally we get it out this month for them, but it's been 5 years in the making. And then, so it's like, you'd be surprised, little things here and there that they can tell you, and then you can say, oh, that would make sense, especially they are very artistic people that they know how to put things together. So I would encourage, and echo everybody's opinion throughout this so that we can have the most participation, from the community as possible. Thank you.
100%. We're looking for feedback from anyone and everyone. And, it's like you're saying, the people who are part of this community and who have lived here for a long time, you're some of the best, urban designers that we could ask for feedback from, because you've lived it, you've experienced it, you know what works and you know what doesn't work. You don't need some fancy job title or degree to, realize what is going well in your neighborhood and what could be improved upon.
So I just want to comment and say it's not that we're trying to discourage anyone. We're all about community engagement. We've had community engagements in the past. We're going to do that in the future. We just cannot compensate everybody who wants to come. And so when we are looking for architects and urban planners, we're looking, they are the ones that we are willing to compensate so that they are not just attending those workshops, but they will be participating until that ordinance is brought in front of the city commission 2 times and passed by resolution. So that's why we're looking for specific people who can assist us in that role over that period of time. But we do welcome the community to always participate and provide their feedback, not only in these 2 workshops, but also our future workshops that will be happening as we finalize our 10-year strategic plan.
All right. Final comment and question.
I just want to caution about translation. If there's going to be translation, these design guidelines are very technical. And sometimes the language is not easily translatable. So if they're going to be interpretation, you have to be sure that you provide whoever's going to be doing the interpretation a basic understanding of what the language is going to be, because I've done some of this stuff and it's just been, it's brutal. And I have a background in urban planning, and it's absolutely brutal to translate terminology that doesn't exist in your own language. So
Yes.
I just want to caution when we want to invite a lot of people to make sure that they don't just sit there and don't understand what's going on.
Thank you. Yes.
I think the translation was on the flyer inviting people out, but I do understand what
Yes,
you're
but
saying
I've
as well.
sat in on sessions where the interpreter doesn't understand the technical language of design. And so what comes out is, almost like the person who does sign language and doesn't know nothing about sign language. Sometimes that's what it comes out, because the poor interpreter doesn't understand the technical language.
All right. Is that it? All right, yep. Yep, we moving forward.
Great.
Thank
Thanks,
you, everybody,
everyone.
for your feedback.
Hope to see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you, City of Miami, for
Thank
coming
you.
out. All right, moving on to the next.
I'll make a motion that public presentation is closed.
Public comment.
Public comments closed.
Public presentation.
Okay, you guys, you got a lot of people, eyes on you, man. I'm glad I don't got to vote on that. I think we're moving on to our final presentation for the evening, or that was it?
That's the last presentation.
Okay.
Next- Yeah, minutes is the next, the first legislative item.
All right, motion to, any second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Any opposed? All right, motion passed. Minutes approved.
Next item would be an absent waiver for our chair, Lesline, who is not here today.
So moved.
Any second?
I'll second.
All right, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion passed.
So we have a resolution for an amendment to our home rehabilitation program. We originally had passed this resolution, I believe it was in 2023, and the program provided up to $50,000 as a 10-year forgivable loan with 10% forgiveness each year. And that was in accordance with the income limits that are provided through HUD each and every year. So we routinely review all of our programs and update them as needed. In comparison, when we passed our $50,000 program, the city's program was at $100,000 of what they provided as far as assistance through the HUD program. They have now, as of the 2026 numbers that became effective, I believe it was in May of this year, increased their program to provide up to $150,000. They also have increased the income limits, because each year those income for the AMIs increases each year. So we also updated our numbers to come out with the most recent ones effective May of this year. We left the eligible properties, the eligible expenses, the homestead requirement equal as well. The only thing that we would be updating, in addition to the income limits per person according to HUD's AMI, is that we would be increasing the dollar amount from $50,000 to $100,000. Oh, also, I'm sorry, there was actually a dollar amount that was allocated per AMI, which is on the second page of the edits. We are requesting to remove that so that we have the funds available to any resident that would come open to that program. And this new program would still be under the initial allocation of the $500,000 that the board had previously approved in 2023.
I have a question about how much have we allocated so far in this program?
So we've done two homes, one for the 67,000 and one for the 50,000.
So that will leave us with the remaining.
Not the math, but
about 100,
300 something thousand.
300 something left. So
Yeah.
if we did do the 100, we technically have 3 remaining.
Yeah, 3,
And-
potentially 4. We're increasing it to 100, not stating that each
Has
home
to-
would
I
be
got it.
100, right? Because we have been able to do 2 homes closer to that $50,000 number. But for example, I have the last 4 or 5 home rehabs that have been done at the city, and they're all reaching really that $150,000. This last one, she had very minimal work that was done. She just some exterior work, some inner work, like more like painting. We did some plumbing and just her bathroom. A lot of the other homes are a lot more extensive in our community. So we're looking at roofs. We're looking at sometimes there's work that needs to be corrected that wasn't done properly the first time. So our community typically needs more extensive work, and so that's why we're asking to increase the number.
Open for any comments.
I'd like to make a friendly amendment to it. I would like a friendly amendment. I don't have a problem with the overall program or the $100,000. But as we did with some of the other programs, I'd like to see those things in excess of 50 come back to us so that we can see what those extra costs are. Because I would not want to create a program where we're going to really only help 3 people. I would love to see if there's greater impact we could have with these limited dollars. If you did 10, and that's, $1 million, we typically have a budget of about $6 million, if that. You back out staff and some of the other things we're doing, you're not really having a major impact in the community. So I like to see those come back like we did with some of the other programs. If it was, at 50, or maybe you put it at 75, and anything above 75 has to come back for kind of a waiver in that parameter.
So your amendment would be to change our program from 50 to 75, and anything greater than 75 come back in front of the board?
I probably would be more comfortable with that than the 100, right?
Okay.
That's just me, though.
That's your, well, I mean, you're welcome to make a motion.
So that's a friendly amendment if anybody wants a second.
And I have a question. Why do we want to remove the tiered system? Because I guess someone making $130,000, $133,000, and someone making 50% or 80% of AMI at 75. I'm curious to understand why would we remove the tiered system, because that's a pretty large disparity as far as awarding the total amount, and maybe again, more people could be assisted.
So that actually was a recommendation from the Community Development Department to have the funds available, because honestly, most of the applicants come way below that. They're more at 100 or 80% AMI. So if their recommendation was just to make it available so that there was no stopping them from being able to do these programs. So if the board feels more comfortable, we can change the highest AMI from 140 to 120, right? So that we can lower those income requirements and take care of those that are most needy.
I think I'm okay with Mr. Holland's suggestion, because that'll take care of it anyways. But I was just curious to understand why we were, because that's a big amount between, say, $75,000 to $130,000 of earnings per year. So
No,
I was
yeah.
just curious to understand that. But I think if we're going to leave it at 50 or 75, and things are going to come back to us, if it's major rehabilitation work for a home, and I think that will, fix my concern with what he suggested with his friendly amendment.
Okay.
Is that a second?
Sure.
Does he need to rephrase it, or?
No,
rephrase
I think
the-
I got it. It's a motion to
motion?
amend the program from 50,000 to 75, and that any request over 75 would have to come back in front of the board.
So the motion's been made?
And seconded.
Okay.
I have another question, though. It can be after the motion, though.
Okay.
I just don't want us to leave this topic.
Right.
It's just a question. It doesn't have to do with the motion. So if we want to call the roll, that's fine, Chair.
All in favor?
Tom has a comment.
Oh, no, you did what I wanted.
All in favor? Oh, all in favor? All right. All right, any opposed?
No. In this program, I know that we do some, what I would consider cosmetic work, meaning like tile work or painting or those types of things. Is there a hierarchy to the work of making the structure sound and livable, like the envelope of the building, for example, like windows, doors, roof, those types of things that make it secure and safe, hurricane resistant, and then we bring in the cosmetic items, because I much rather have new windows than to have my whole house painted inside and out.
So actually, what community development does is that they focus on safety issues first, because there's like electrical, plumbing. You'd be surprised the type of
Yeah, I'm
makeshift
curious,
things
yeah,
that
about
happen
that,
first.
the resiliency aspect
Yeah.
of, a new roof, a proper roof on a house that's
Yes.
not leaking now, especially that we're in hurricane season,
Mhm.
and that I'm not gonna have a fire because I have, 50-year-old wiring and bad outlets. Yeah.
So they focus on those type of upgrades first, and then if they are able to do any of the cosmetic things
By
like
all
the
means,
painting,
if there's money
and-
left, but
yeah, then
I
they're
want,
learning. Out.
a
But they
safe,
do
secure-
encompass all of those things to do that as well.
Because I know our program is very broad, and
Mhm.
while I would love to see a beautiful front yard, I'd much rather have someone be secure in their home than have a pretty front yard at this time. I want it all. I want the homes to be beautiful, but yeah, I want people to have a safe place to live.
So I have a
So-
question. We're going by the discretion of the person that's applying, or when they go, is there like a comprehensive walkthrough of the space? Just curious, because if a person doesn't disclose what the issue is, if the person just wants,
Community development sends out inspectors.
Yeah,
They
so-
send a qualified person to inspect the home, right?
So community development has on staff somebody named Valerie Brown, who goes out and does an internal inspection, right? But her pricing is not what the work that's actually going to be done. So then they put out a bid where approved contractors come out all in the day. They walk the property, they see what's needed, and then they submit a sealed bid. And then the city will pick the contractor with the lowest bid to go ahead and do the work. So there's both an internal inspector who reviews it, and then there's a bid that's provided by a general contractor. So even if a homeowner comes to us and says, I'd really like to replace my garage door, but their plumbing and electrical is not at the level it should be, community development is going to prioritize that because it's quality of life over something cosmetic like fixing their door.
Thank you.
all right, any other questions?
No.
All right.
You guys already voted.
So we motioned, voted.
passed it.
All right, cool. I got lost somewhere.
Okay. Okay. So he wants a
Okay,
second.
we did the amendment. Okay, now we need to pass the item. So motion to approve the resolution.
As
Do we
amended.
wait for Mr. Holland to come back for just a minute?
No, there's
No,
no
we got
need.
enough to vote, right?
Yeah, you got
Okay, yeah. Remember to motion to approve resolution 2026-005 with added amendment. As amended. All right, as amended.
Seconded.
Well, I can't motion. I'm just-
Okay, well, I make that motion that he read. So
And
I
I'll
don't have to
second.
restate it, and it was seconded.
I'll second.
All in favor?
All in favor? Any opposed?
No.
All right. CEO
Next,
report.
CEO report, and I'm going to try to run through it. So first, administrative update that we are once again participating in the City of Miami Summer Jobs Connect. So we received our actual previous intern, Angela Brown, who was with us this year, so she'll be with us all summer. She graduated high school this year, and so we look forward to having her back. We were supposed to have a second person, but they are no longer with us. So that's the first item. Then I'm going to go to programming updates. Our most recent grant program, placemaking grant. We are up to 3 applicants. We didn't have any presentations today, but I anticipate at the next meeting we will have. So that has been a popular application for people. Then we have the Little Haiti Scholarship College and Trade School. We have hit 30 applicants on that program. and it continues to grow as we're waiting for it. For small business grants, I do want to highlight that over the last month, 2 businesses received reimbursements. They paid for their upgrades themselves and successfully submitted the documents in which they were repaid, which were Sheila Bebe and both B&T Tires that did commercial upgrades to their properties. So that's the update for small business grant. For programming updates, last week we graduated our 3rd financial literacy class. So that's a picture of the recipients. They participated in that 6-week program through Catholic Charities, and so they have graduated. I also want to highlight that one of the graduates of the financial literacy class is actually a recipient of our college and trade school scholarship. So she got the college and trade school, she learned about the financial literacy, and she graduated with that program last week. So just want to share the type of impact we're having in residents' lives here. Well, you got to help her buy the house first. Yeah. Next is wanted to provide you update that there was a groundbreaking ceremony that the Haitian American CDC did for the Citadel Village. That was the project in which we're providing the $1 million loan and $300,000 grant. That happened on May 18th, so they are closer to be able to start doing some of the fundamental work for the 92 units of affordable housing that they'll be building. May was also Haitian Heritage Month, and we participated in Chairwoman King's Sac Passe Little Haiti that happened on May 16th. We also held Happy Birthday Little Haiti, the 10th year anniversary. We do have a small recap video that I wanted to share with you. I don't know if it's up. I'm gonna keep going while we bring it up. Oh, it's up? We can't see it. Okay, there we go.
Happy birthday, little Haiti. Wherever I go, wherever I go, wherever I go. Every time we touch, start to fire. But we both love the pain. Turning up the radio is tonic, but I only hear your name. Myos and Myos, I've traveled the world. I've never found someone like you. I can't explain it, you're inside my head. Whenever I go, I see you. Wherever I go.
So it was just significant, but we had Commissioner Hardiman from District 3, who was the commissioner when he was at City of Miami, who passed the resolution naming Little Haiti. So he came back to be able to have a discussion with our current commissioner, Christine King, in reference to all the hard work that went into being able to name Little Haiti. So we're thankful that we were able to celebrate 10 years. The next update I just wanted to share with you a little bit was about our website development. Our website is almost live. That's a live picture of what we've been working on. We hope by the next board meeting that we'll have it live where people can go and see. So we're excited because we've been working with the city's department for a long time to be able to get there. And we'll also be unveiling a new logo with the trust. So we've been working diligently with the city's communications department to be able to do that. Next is that we attended the St. La's 26th anniversary gala, where I was awarded and recognized as one of the awardees for the year. And then I also wanted to recognize the amazing staff of the Little Haiti Trust. June is a special month for us. I am celebrating 3 years, Gabison is celebrating 2 years, and Tracy's celebrating 1 year. So
This man with it. It's a year already?
It's been a year already, and she's not here today. So it's the anniversary of all 3 employees of the staff. And then the last thing is just our financial report with our monthly expenses and year-to-date expenses. And I don't know if anyone has any questions. Nope. So that's it.
No questions. Excellent job. Once again, you just guys, man, you guys are killing it. We're showing off. We got videos queued up. We got sound. Showing out. I don't know. Do we have any other? I don't see any discussion items. Anybody have any discussion items you would like to add to this robust agenda? Okay. All right.
You don't have to
I don't have to motion to adjourn. All right. Meeting to adjourn. Sorry, my brother. See you next month. À la prochaine.